Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we are going to address a very common question. Chris, I've been fasting for X amount of days and I'm not losing any weight. What's going on? I get this question all the time, and so today we're going to address it.
We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual.
Hey, I just want to let you all know that the 40-day wellness class has been officially announced. So we will be starting October 2nd. If you've been wanting to join the class, here's your chance. I think we've got about 12 slots left as of right now. For those of you who have been yo-yoing, dealing with even questions like we're going to answer today, why am I fasting, not losing weight, what type of dietary strategy, and then also getting to some of those deep-seated energetic traumas and things of that nature, we tackle all of that in the 40-day class. So if you're interested, you can sign up. Link is in the description box below. Okay, so today we are going to be answering this question. You're fasting, you're not losing weight, what's going on? And to be honest with you, this question can be answered a couple different ways. So it kind of depends, right? Why are you fasting and you're not losing weight? That's going to depend. So let's kind of talk about some of the broad strokes. Well, number one, are you male or female? Because if you're a female, chances are that depending on what time of the month it is, right, if you're experiencing your cycle or anything like that, you could be dealing with abnormal water retention. It's very interesting the way that the female body is connected to the earth and the celestial bodies as well, because if it's close to a full moon, I believe women tend to retain water close to full moons as well. I think in general, people tend to retain water close to full moons. So it's amazing how the earth as well as the celestial bodies, they all have a energetic pull or can kind of affect our bodies in different ways. And so those are kind of like really, really broad strokes, but they can certainly affect it. And it's something to note. Another reason why you could be holding on to weight is because you have not properly cleansed your elimination pathways. So the whole point of fasting is so that the body can break down toxins and eliminate them. Now, why do you get fat in the first place? White adipose tissue is actually not your enemy. It's your friend. It's keeping you as healthy as it can while you continue to consume toxic foods and live in toxic environments. With that being said, you do need a proper path of elimination. So when the body starts to release this contamination, it needs to have the path of least resistance. Okay, so if your main elimination pathways are blocked or low functioning, you may see weight come off much slower, or you may experience more frequent periods where you're not losing weight at all. So that's another major thing to keep in mind. Now, we've talked many times about prepping. It's one of the things that we highlight in all of the classes and challenges we do because preparation plays such an important key. So if you're not losing weight and you're fasting, you may want to look at, well, did you prep? And then, of course, how did you prep, right? There's levels to everything, but these are just, once again, some broad strokes so you all can kind of wrap your mind around what may be going on. What also could help you is, before you do your actual fast, is a detox. Now, there's many different types of detoxes. We obviously teach a really natural way to detox the body through fruit juice and things of that nature, but you could certainly get into herbs, you can get to essential oils and things of that nature. So you can step it up if you want to, especially if you think that might be your problem. Another reason why you could be fasting and not losing weight is because you may be experiencing the fasting shrink week. Now, the fasting shrink week is a period of time where you're not going to lose any weight. As a matter of fact, during this time, you could actually gain weight. So it really just depends on, your particular makeup and chemistry. And a good indicator of if you're experiencing a fasting shrink week is going to be that typically the fasting shrink week is going to happen around day 14. So it can happen as early as day 10, it can happen as late as day 18, but typically around day 14 of your pure water fast, you're going to experience the shrink week. Now, while when you do experience a shrink week, you don't see weight come off on the scale. You do, however, see plenty of inches come off of your waist, your arms, your bust, wherever. So if you are taping yourself, you can determine whether or not you're experiencing a shrink week. These also happen in small spurts throughout your fast. As you fast longer, as your body becomes more acclimated, you can experience these little shrink weeks that might last a day or two, filtered out throughout your fast. The longer you've been fasting, the more sporadic it kind of happens. So that's just something to understand and look out for. Now, with the fasting shrink week, people inevitably will ask, well, is there a way to avoid it? And there technically is, but you're probably better off just going with the flow. But what you could do is, if let's say you're doing a pure water fast, you could actually break your fast at week 2. Okay, so 14 days in, you decide to break your fast, and then you'll eat for like 2 days. Now, when you eat, you want to eat high water content foods. I would recommend raw. I would highly recommend raw foods. And then after 2 days, you go back into your fasting, and this will help mitigate the week-long stretch where you are going to experience, shrink week. Another reason why you could be holding on to weight is because of an energetic knot. Okay. Now, this is a little less, I would say this doesn't happen as frequently, or at least we don't see it as frequently. It might happen all the time. We just might not identify it as frequently. But when you have any type of energetic trauma wound up in any of your organs, or just anywhere in your body, or if your energetic alignment is off, you can certainly see a decrease of weight loss, or even your weight loss stopping completely. You can kind of experience plateaus, if you will. These, once again, they're a little less frequent, but I have seen them, and they're very frustrating if you don't understand them, if you don't know what's going on. Let's say you're doing everything right, and you're still not seeing the weight loss you want. Understand, see, what helps a lot is understanding what the actual fat is. It suspends toxicity. It is your body's kind of mechanism for balancing. So if you have hormonal imbalances or even energetic imbalances, it will use fat and other things to help to create this balance. So one of the reasons why we really like teaching holistic from a holistic standpoint is because it makes our job easier. If we address your energetic trauma, if we address your mental trauma, if we address eating addiction, as well as lifestyle, like what are you eating, how frequently you're eating, how much water you're drinking, if we address the human being or the person holistically, it just makes things easier versus trying to pinpoint, okay, you have an issue here, you have an issue there, apply this fix, apply that fix. I still got the issue. What's going on? And this is actually one of the reasons why we developed a 40-day course, is because we wanted to be able to offer a product that helped you all holistically. And then, of course, my main thing was teaching you how to fish versus giving you a fish, right? When we teach you how to fast without like really explaining why you do what you do, it's kind of like giving you a fish instead of teaching you how to fish. I really want to go in depth, like, why is it important to drink the amount of water we recommend? Why is it important to offset when you eat? To focus on eating high water content foods? What's the benefit of that? Right? And when we can go into more in depth into these topics, you start to understand how to fish versus me just giving you a fish, which is why you see a lot of the yo-yoing. People, they hear a quick word. They're like, okay, I could fast for 10 days or whatever the case is. And okay, you're going to lose about 2 pounds per day. So roughly you have the blueprint to lose about 20 pounds. But of course, if you don't have the understanding of preparation, results may vary. if you don't have the understand of proper, stimulating of your elimination pathways, results may vary. If you don't understand how to refeed properly, results are definitely going to vary, because while you might lose the weight, now you're really prone to gaining it back in rapid succession. So it's very important to understand these elements holistically speaking. When you look at a fast, it's prep, the fast itself, and the refeed. And then of course you also want to make sure you understand, how when to pull up. You don't want to over challenge yourself. You don't want to overburden yourself, right? You want to put on yourself what you're capable of, meaning you don't want to say, okay, today I'm going to start my 40-day fast with no prep and no knowledge of what that looks like. That's going to be very challenging, and you're setting yourself for a mental failure. Whereas you might be able to understand, okay, if I can get 24 hours under my belt, I could probably do 48 hours. And if I could do 48 hours, maybe I could do 2 days on, 1 day off, right? Fast for 48 hours, eat one meal, and then fast for 48 hours. You learn how to develop a technique that works for you. The last thing that I will say, as far as, you're fasting, you're not losing weight, this is a pretty simple trick. If your lack of weight loss is also accompanied by maybe like feeling really ill, you may want to look at doing a colonic or an enema. Okay. Conversely, you could also get some castor oil. Get yourself some hexane-free castor oil. Comes in a glass bottle. You take a tablespoon of it, right? You wait a couple of hours. See if you get a bowel movement going. If you don't, you take another tablespoon, right? And you want to give yourself a couple hours. Once you get your bowel movement going, you let that process go full cycle, and you also may notice that your weight increases. If you're dehydrated, if you're not properly hydrating, if you don't know how to hydrate, these can also affect your weight loss, because proper hydration is going to be at the core of your cellular detoxification. Okay, so these are very important things that you want to understand, and this might be why you're not losing weight on your water fast. So hopefully some of these things help to maybe just provide some enlightenment and things of that nature. I want to remind y'all that I do have a book. Metamorphosis, A Journey to Holistic Wellness is available on healthyalternative.org. Okay, we've got plenty of things in the shop. The VitaJewel water bottles. If you're interested in the 40-day wellness program, the link's going to be in the description box. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I'll see you all next time.